Hello and welcome back to Pandemic Playground with Dave. We are back at Never Surrender Ship Evolution, and today we are going to weld up what we can on the current ship. Alright, so the plan today is to weld up what we can, but of course, like we said last time, there's no way I'm gonna be able to weld up everything by hand. So we need to make something to assist with the welding. So there's multiple ways we can do it. We can use the bridge ship, change up the drills and put some welders on. That's a simple way. Option 2 is get some good connection points, put welders on there and weld it from there. That's another option. I think that's a good viable option for the arm here. We put on a piston and then go forward and back, blah blah blah. But I think what I want to do today is actually build somewhat of a separate ship. And it's gonna be kind of like the multi-tool ship I created in Europa, or Surviving Europa. But this time I want to make a large grid version of it if I can. Alright, so question 1 is where we're going to connect to initially to even get all the materials to kind of assist with the build. So that's the initial problem we're going to have. We don't really have a good connection point at the moment. But if anything, we probably just got to make a bit of a spot right back here if anything. I think that's the best we're gonna do at the moment. So I can just add something right over here, and we can just add a couple of piping system right back here and add a connector, and we can connect from there as well. Or we just connect from up here, leaving a connector towards the bottom. So various different ways to do it. Of course, we want to be able to collect stuff as quickly as possible. So I guess, yeah, we probably have to put it over here and make it a front connector rather than a like back connector or bottom connector or top connector in that sense. So let's just do it that way. We never tried to do it that way before, but we could try it out and see how that kind of works out. So yeah, let's just do a temporary back piece here and see how that kind of turns out. So yeah, we're gonna put a pipe right over here. Let's just do a T pipe for now, just to make it look decent. And we can do a connector here, and what we do is put another connector attached to it or next to it. That way we have a means of connecting from a ship, or at least building out the ship from there. So we're gonna build it front to the back, I guess, in that sense. Alright, so we put this here. This is temporary. It's not gonna stay here. We'll find a different spot for it if anything, but it's just gonna be a bit of a start here. And hopefully I have all the parts. Sometimes I forget how much space I have in this thing, which is not a lot, or my inventory. It's not a lot at all. And there you go. So that is going to be our connection point. We'll connect from the front here. I think that's the best way to do it. Alright, so I just went in to get some energy. And yes, we don't need 2 timer blocks. You get 1 timer block to do an action and repeat on its own block. So that's another thing that I was messing around with last time and completely messed up on that. Although 2 would make it more symmetrical in that sense, but it's pointless. You could just use 1. You don't need 2. So just to clarify, I did know that eventually when I was editing the video out. I was like, why am I doing 2? So yeah, so sometimes there's an afterthought when I'm reviewing the video, and of course I do things a little bit differently and sometimes not very efficient, but it is what it is in that kind of sense. Alright, so the great news about having a connector back here is now we can just have a nice connecting point that we can just grab stuff from. So we're gonna build another connector, and it's gonna be right here. And we can grab the rest of the parts, hopefully. I just want to grab it there, right here. Okay, so that just needs to connect on. So we just do, let's look at not used for parking. We'll lock it, and we get rid of these things here. So now we have kind of the ship piece there, and the rest of it, it's likely going to be connectors or conveyors right here. I'm not sure how long we're going to make this thing, but it shouldn't be too long. But we'll just add a few in terms of the body of the ship, or at least inside of the ship. So we just add, let's just do 3 conveyor junctions just for now, and we'll go from there. So the front piece, we're likely gonna need a rotor, or at least an advanced rotor. So an advanced rotor, we can do it this way. Yeah, we can do it this way. So the only thing I don't like about this is that the welder, and if we need a grinder, because we're going to make a multi-tool, so it's going to be similar to something we built before, it's a little bit on the wide side, I think. Yeah, it's a little bit on the wide side, but it's not that bad. I realized the green light doesn't light up on the T. Interesting. And I realized I got rid of my extraction point of materials here too, so that was bad. Oh well, what are you gonna do? But yeah, we need to add the advanced rotors, one on each side for the most part here, and yeah, that's probably the way to do it. Can I? What I'm gonna do is pretty much reverse this piston. Then we can grab materials from here. Yeah. So we need an advanced rotor. 2, in that sense. So we can add it right here, and one right here. And that should be okay. We'll weld up the steel tube a little bit later, I guess. So advanced rotor, advanced rotor, advanced rotor, advanced rotor. Okay, so we're okay. Well, let's get the tube. I think we can grab it from here, right? Steel tube. Where's the large steel tubes? Here we go. Okay, that works. Okay, so you got advanced rotor, the steel tubes, and here is where we're gonna build out kind of like the welders and everything like that. So welder, we could build kind of like this, but that's not gonna be efficient. So I'd rather have it kind of like closer over here. Can we do it that way? I don't want to be this far apart, like right over here, because it's quite the distance in terms of from this point and that point. Yes, we could do the displacement a little bit closer, but I really want it to be kind of movable right over here, or at least that close. So what we can do, and it might be a little bit longer this way, but it's gonna be kind of like this. That should work okay, right? It's gonna rotate fine, right? I hope so. So this is, yeah, it's gonna kind of close trying to get in to getting into the connector though. So that's another problem we're gonna have here. But yeah, that is really close. But it's fine. We can always rotate it in a certain specific way so that we don't collide with anything. So that kind of works out too. So yeah, I think that's gonna work. Let's just give it a go and see if that really does work out okay or not. So let's just weld it up first so we don't have to keep coming back for materials. Looks like I'm running out of motors. That's not good. Didn't think I would run out of anything. But we can always queue up a whole bunch if anything. Do we not have motors? We don't have motors. That's interesting. Alright, so let's just get rid of these for now. Let's 2,000 motors. Let's do 1,000 of these. And of course, we can always use more steel plates. So we just queue up as much as we can. Alright, so motors. Yeah, we don't have too much of, so that's going to be a bit of a challenge. And honestly, I didn't need to use conveyor junctions. I could use piping instead. I kind of feel like maybe I should do that instead. So we can leave this as a conveyor junction. And then we use some piping here. So we could pipe it. I guess we could pipe it this way? No. Let's pipe it. We could pipe it this way. It's an option. And if we had to, right here is where we want to pipe it a little bit differently. I don't want to do it this way because that's just make it look odd. We could do it this way, but really no point either because the back piece not gonna do anything. We probably are better off doing it this way. Yeah, let's just do it that way for now. It's probably not gonna look the best, but it's gonna be operational. So that's what we need. Alright, so we need to add this welder on there, and I think we're gonna get a port where we can grab materials out of. So let's see how well that kind of works out. But we'll put the welder here. Perfect. So now I should be able to grab everything from within. And this, once again, is going to be a tight spot, but it should be alright. Because we can rotate this upwards, 90 degrees, up or down, either one. And it's going to give us the opportunity to expose that kind of spot. So we should be okay. Yeah, I think we should be alright. So let me see. Yep, I can use that now, so that's perfect. Alright, so we'll just do the tubing this way. And of course we could change it up if necessary, but probably not. It might not look the best, but it's going to be more operational at this point, and that's what's going to matter most right now, because who knows how long I'm going to keep this ship for. It's mainly just to finish welding up the crazy amounts of metal grids that we are about to use. And I don't even know if we have enough metal grids right now, but we will come across that or walk that line very soon once we start welding it up. Alright, so we got 2 welders and we can rotate it. And on this side we could do the grinder. So once again, this is going to be a very similar thing we've done before, but in a small grid version, which is the Multitool. So if you haven't seen that, feel free to look at the description down below for the small grid version and have fun with it if you want. But today we're going to make the large version of it, and probably won't look as great though. But we're going to try to make it as nice as possible with what we got. So let's just see how that really turns out. I don't have a lot of faith in it right now because it's a large piece of ship right now. A large piece of ship. Yeah, it should turn out okay, but who knows? It might turn out pretty ugly in the sense too. But we're gonna add grinders. We have the welders and everything like that. So we put that here, or at least try to put it there. We put it right here and right here. Here we got working grinders now, which is awesome. And that's where we can rotate it a little bit more. left and right or up and down. So we can use the grinder, we can use the welder. It's a bit on the wide side, but it should be alright. We do need to add a little bit more of these guys here. This might be a problem. Maybe. Potentially. If it does act as a problem, then we have to widen out the grinders a bit. So we're going to test this out really quick first though. Here is the lengthy piece of it. Right? That's the head of the ship. Now we can start building the body and everything like that. But the problem with this, it's pretty close to the grinder, so will it grind it down? Nope. So grind it down if it's right here, but not over there. So that's good, I think. Is it gonna hold true? Yeah, it's gonna hold true. Okay, so we're good. If it didn't work out, we'll just have to make that wider. But we are okay in that front right there, so that's a good thing. If we want to build it out in terms of designing it some more, I usually would probably do something like a half block kind of situation here. And that's just to add a little bit of design to it, if anything. Nothing too special in that sense. And we should find a spot for a camera as well, so we can see in front of us if necessary, which I may have to get rid of this slope block and put a camera right there to make it a little bit easier to see. That's, yeah, we'll wait for that. That's fine. Alright, so from here, of course, we still probably need some more conveyor junctions to go along with the body of everything. And we're likely going to connect it to one large cargo container. I think that's going to be more than enough to support us in terms of the materials that we need. So I think we could just throw it right here. Or we do two and throw one on each side, and that just becomes your ordinary ship with two bulging items in the back. In that sense. But I think if we do just build around it, it'll look a little bit better that way. So we just got to put it right there. And of course, that's not even looking super crazy. But like I said, we're going to build around it. We're going to put some batteries. We're going to do a lot more with it. But we just got to start building from here. So we actually don't even need it this long, actually. Yeah, let's not do it too long. So we'll do it. We built from here. We connect it. I think this will be fine. Yeah, this will be fine. We'll build around it from here. I think that will work out okay. Let's just see. I mean, nothing's always set in stone here. We can always change things up if we need to. So let's just go with it for now. So steel tubes. Okay, so that's all set. Do we have enough materials for the large cargo container? We should, hopefully. Alright, so we got a large cargo container right over here, so we're all set on that front. And like I said, we're going to build around it, so we need a cockpit, we want a helm seat. It depends on what we want. But I think, let's think, I think a cockpit is usually the better bet in this kind of situation. So what cockpit do we want to use here? Let's see. We could use this one because it has the port on the bottom. We can use this one, but we're gonna have to put the port on the top. So we gotta find a way to connect it. So we put it right here, if anything, or up here. That looks okay. Not the best placement, but yeah. Or we can just go with a helm. That works too. The only problem is it's not going to be secured in terms of having it covered. So how should we do this? Actually, that's a pretty poor placement of the cargo container, but it's fine. Do we just want to build it up on top of this? That's just gonna look weird. Kind of want to build a helm instead, and then we could cover it up with glass, I guess. I don't know. Let's see how that works. We still need to put a whole bunch of thrusters on here too, so that's another thing. So we build that there. Is that gonna work out okay? Probably not. Yeah, that's terrible. Okay. We may need to do some changing up here, but I don't know. We definitely need batteries is another thing. So batteries we could just place kind of on the side here. We have to do one battery here, another battery here, right there, and I guess we just weld it up from here. And there we go. 2 batteries. We may need more. Maybe. I don't think 2 is enough for this build. But we definitely need to get energy ourselves. Okay, so we are set with the battery, the cargo container. We still haven't solved for 2 things. Thrusters and a cockpit. So we still have things to do here. So before we go too crazy as well, we probably want to kind of close up some parts of the ship here. So we're just gonna grab some steel plates for now. And with the grinder being there, we should be okay to have something here. So we can put kind of the slope block right around there, just to close it up just a tiny bit. And we can use a half block or whatever we want right in front of it, if anything. So we can do that. So we could do a slope, this one here, or we just continue with a half block like this. And I don't know. Everything just looks kind of out of place in some ways. But I think if we add this here, add the slope block here, that ends up finishing up this piece of it. But like I said, the front part's gonna be a little long because we don't want to grind down some stuff here. So maybe we'll just do it this way. Let's try something different, right? So we'll just stick it like this. And we can't put anything else here because I think that's gonna grind it down. I don't know if I could put a panel there. If I put a panel there, yeah, I think that's gonna grind it down, right? So if I put a panel right there and turn this on, yeah, it'll take it out. So I guess we'll have to build it like that. And it's gonna be nose length for now. Maybe I should have made it wide. At least for the grinder. No. Maybe, yeah. Maybe the grinder we can leave wide. Not sure. Let's leave it as that for now. The bottom piece we could kind of mimic the same as the top. Well, we should probably do that. So we'll just do half blocks here. And of course, with all this said and done, we do need to we'll probably and likely we'll have to change this up a little bit as we go because we still have thrusters to put on here. And it's gonna be kind of a bit of an afterthought if anything. But it's turning out okay. It's taking shape. It's about the beak of what we have here of the ship. And this is the body. So how are we going to finish up the body? I don't know. It's slowly coming together. Slowly but surely coming together. So we could just add a little bit more protection for these batteries, for the cargo container and stuff like that. So we'll bring out this kind of wing system. Not wing, but you know, something like that. We still need a spot for the cargo. So the cargo, I mean, it could be right behind this whole cargo container. I mean, why not? There's a possibility. We can... Problem is, I don't really like the cockpit selections that we have here. So we have this one here. We have this one here, but they're just going to be hidden anyway. So what's the point of having it? We can just kind of like I guess put a helm system here if we wanted to. Right in front of here. I don't know. Do we want it to be super wide? Probably not. So different options to think about. And in all honesty, I don't even know why we're making a multitool, because we're gonna have to we really just need a welding system. So yeah. It will, I guess we'll just leave it as that. So yeah, I think we can just do a helm system. Let's just do a helm system. We'll do a helm system up here. And it doesn't have to be airtight, right? I guess. We could leave it as that. We could put some plates here if we needed to. I think. Doesn't allow me to, but okay. Yeah, I don't know. We could do these kind of windows, viewports, I think. I was hoping that worked out. That doesn't work. Interesting. Can we make this work? We can make this work. It's not gonna look pretty, but it seems to be a possibility. And we could just kind of put it on the side here. So we just add like yeah, that's not gonna be the most exciting looking thing. But it's possible. Yeah, I can never really find a good kind of placement for these kind of window systems here. That looks terrible. Yeah, unfortunately I'm not really liking this too much, but alright, we should be okay. Let's just do this then. The problem with this is that it's not going to be fun to maneuver around. So if we build the smallest thing we can to weld up stuff, that would probably be more ideal than having a long ship like that. Otherwise, I should just build a small ship instead, a small grid ship instead. So maybe this is a mistake. I'm starting to think, yes, it's a mistake. And maybe instead of building it this way, it's too long for one. So why not shrink it? All right, let's shrink. Let's see if we can shrink this up a little bit more. Ooh, we need the batteries here. So it's unfortunate that we have to keep the batteries there, but if we had to, I'm thinking we could probably put the cargo container right over here. Potentially. So let's put the cargo container right here. Yeah, that's the closest we can get, I think, without getting grinded down. If we put it one here, yeah, it's gonna reach right into this, so that's not gonna work out. So let's do that. So that is our shrunken ship. And our cockpit system technically can go here or anywhere else. So we can do that as well. Do we have a cockpit that's connects in the back? No, we don't. So we only have this one that connects from the top, on the bottom, I mean, and this. Yeah, they all connect from the bottom. So we could do this. That's an option right here. So let's do that. Here's a cockpit. We'll place it right here. We can. Well, that's unfortunate. I don't know why I changed my mind and thought that's the bottom. Actually, that was the top. There we go. So that fixes that. So being that it's on top, we can connect it to this connector or connection point from here by using a pipe system or conveyor junction, whatever you want to use, right? So let's just say a pipe system for now. Although we don't need to because we are not extracting anything out of it. Unless we do make this have oxygen. So we can just do it that way. That makes it look a little odd, but it's fine. Alright, so here we can add, I guess we could do this, or just put back the half block right over here, but then I won't be able to see too much. Yeah, I won't be able to see too much, so we'll leave it as that. Well, maybe we just get rid of this whole thing. This kind of pointless in some ways. But we can add in a half block here, or a slight slope armor thingy here, and do a camera so we can see a little bit better. So that's an option we can play around with. Where's the camera? I can't see. Right there. Okay, so camera there, and we're set over there. Okay, here we go. We got a camera system right there, and I hope I put it the right way around. Yeah, the dot on the bottom left. And there you go. That's much better in terms of the ship being smaller footprint. We could have just put it right there, but oh wells. We messed that up, so we're gonna have to live with what we got right here. So here is, I guess we're gonna change this up a bit too. And we're gonna do it this way. Okay, so that works out okay. We got a bit of a hump system up front. Like I said, we could have potentially put it a little bit closer than what we had before, but this kind of all works out too. Kind of. I don't want to get rid of it because the batteries are here. If I remove it, then we're going to lose the power cells, but we could fly it around and merge it, but who has time for that at this point? Alright, so we're going to make this as simple as possible. I don't think we need too much more from here. So a gyro system we need, and we can easily attach that to the back here. So let's just put it there. Okay, so we have a gyro system right back there. And from here is just pretty much putting on some thrusters. So I think we can get away with multiple ion thrusters. Small ion thrusters, I think. I would hope so, to be honest. And we could definitely put two back here, like that. And what's good about the height now, we could actually add a few up here as well. So that's a good thing. Or on the side, either one. But do we have all the parts for it? Not necessarily, but it's fine. Do you want to use this one or this one? We can use... I want to use the original ones. Let's just do the originals for now. The two here, we can add... one over here. I think that should be okay. Right? Or we do it this way. No. We can add it this way. I think that's far enough, right? Actually, would it burn that one out? It might. It probably won't, actually. But we can add it up here as an option. So that's our front, back. And actually, that gives us the opportunity to do downwards from here, which is great. And we need our side thrusting, and then we need our upward thrusting. So that's what's left here. So upward thrusting, we can add back here to make it look a little bit nicer. And of course, our side thrusting. That's always the struggle in terms of making a ship, because it takes a lot of kind of thought process on where to put these things. So we could do it down here, or we put it somewhere in the middle, right around here. It always looks terrible when you put the side thrust. I don't know why, or maybe that's just me. But I'm gonna put it here actually. So let's just put the side thrust here. We're gonna do two. And then we can do an upward thrust. And the upward thrust we can do a little bit different. So let's just add one there. And we can add one. If I can add one here, that'd be awesome, but we can't. So Right in front of the cockpit. That's an not really an option, but it's possible. Well, we could have just added here. Why don't just add it up here, actually? A little higher than what we want, but should be okay. And there we go. Now we have 2 on each side. I think we have enough to get this thing done. Maybe? Okay, this is looking a little odd. So, everything's so tall. Yeah, this is not the best looking thing in the world. But, what are you gonna do about it, right? Alright, so I'm actually gonna add the downward thrust here. We can make this thing a little bit on the longer, taller side, or if anything, right? So that shouldn't be too bad, and we can definitely add some forward thrust or backwards thrust over here. And we'll just make it slightly different. We don't need that, we don't need that. That's not connected anymore. Okay. So we are still missing side thrust. So side thrust can go right here. And of course we need kind of 2 spots for side thrusting. So we have to think of that too. So here's side thrust 1. And we're going to have to do side thrust on another side as well. So let's see how we're going to do that. So here we go. Thrust there. We could place it. You know what? I'm going to put it here. Let's just make it look a little bit better, right? So here we go. So we have our side thrusting. We have forward thrusting. We can have our... Well, we have backward thrusting, not forward thrusting. We can add our forward thrusting. Many ways to do this. We could do it right here for one. And the other one could be attached here in the odd little spots, which is fine. Yeah, that'll work. And we can clean up the rest and close it out if we need to, or should we just leave it exposed? We could probably just leave it exposed and see how it goes. But I know for sure it's gonna take some time to get those ion thrusters kind of welded up too. So let's just put that together. Alright, so here's our simple but fairly ugly welding multi-tool ship in a large grid format. Given time, I probably could make it look a little better, but yeah, I think we spent a little bit too much time on it so far and it's not looking the greatest. Test number 1 is fill up this whole entire thing with steel plates and metal grids. So let's just do that really quick. Let me move some stuff around really quickly. So we want metal grids and we want steel plates. And it looks like we carry a whole bunch. Jeez. We have 11k metal grids. That's not bad at all. 26k of steel plates may not even be enough. But we have a decent amount of stuff, which is good. Okay. So let's see if this works out okay or not. So let's unlock. Back up if we can. Okay, we are released. So it's not very maneuverable, as you see there. Taking a bit of a time to slow down. Our gyroscope is doing what it needs to do. A little too quick for what I needed to do actually. So that's 2.75, which is a little bit better. If we move left and right, it's a little slow to do it, and it takes a bit of time to stop. So we need a little bit more thrusting, but I think we should be okay. You know, I probably am gonna grow to like this thing a little bit, but like I said, it's not perfect. It's not the best looking thing in the world as well, but it's gonna be good enough. Let's just say. I don't even know which advanced rotor is which at this point. So let's see. If I move this one, that is the left one. So this is gonna be a L, this is gonna be a R. And of course, each one's gonna do two different things. So positive velocity on the right will go down, and positive, actually no, that's fine. Positive velocity, nope, will go upwards. So we need opposites in that placement there. I wish we could just reset it all, but yeah, it's fine. Let's see here. The displacement, we can, let's just go a little further because we have it pretty close right now. So let's just do that. And what I would normally do is make sure, look there, both angled correctly at 5, but opposite 5s, right? No. What we're going to do here is a positive velocity will make it go down on the right hand side. So that means we'll do increase velocity, and then on the left hand side decrease velocity, and then we do kind of the same thing, but we do increase velocity and decrease velocity. That way we're gonna manually control this instead of using a timer block to group these two. We could just do 1 and 2 to do that, and 4 and 5 to do that, and we can stop it from there. That's how we're gonna work that out. In terms of block tools, do you want to left click or do you want to just have it on? I think we could just group them and have it on, so that might be better that way. So welders, obviously that's right here, so we do WS as a short way of doing it. I mean, we could type it out if we want to, but here's some G's, and we'll just kind of turn it on and off as a group. So we could just do 6 and 7, right? So toggle on off, right there. 7 turns on the welders, and we should be good. Okay, like it's, well, we're so far from the ship, but anyways, don't forget we have a camera, so we can do view. And we have a nice view here, and we have camera panning on, so we can maneuver it a little bit. That's in that way. But like I said, this thing, it takes a bit of time to stop, which is the scary part of this whole ship. Oop. But I think we should be okay. We stay kind of clear and not crash into the ship itself. But I wish it was more maneuverable where we quickly move left, right, and stop. I think it can if we get rid of all the materials inside. Potentially. I don't know. Alright, so here is step 1, and I think we should have probably got rid of some of the large ion thrusters on the arms here, because we probably don't need it. Yeah, we probably don't need them there if we're gonna weld this up. And I just realized we don't have downward thrusters because I've been trying to hit downward and it didn't work. Well, we don't necessarily need it at the same time, but I think it would be helpful to have some. So let me plop on some of those really quickly. Alright, so there we go. So we got our downward thrust finally. So that will work out. And we are finally, we're like so far into building the whole multi-tool ship right here that we didn't really save too much time to start welding. So we're gonna weld up as much as we can and see if we can go from there. I'm trying to weld up most of the wing, if anything. Let's see how much this is gonna work. So let's turn on the welders and go from there. Yeah, that's taking a long time to weld. Do I need to get closer? I think that's as close as we can get, right? Yeah, that's like touching it. So this is gonna take quite some time actually. So that's gonna be interesting. Alright, so we have a bit of a problem here because we are out of steel plates and we were only able to cover that amount of the heavy armor plates. Not good whatsoever. So that's a problem. It's gonna take quite some time for this to work out. So we probably have to do this a little bit off camera, or maybe I'll time lapse it, but it's gonna be quite the project to get it all welded up. So I'm gonna mass produce as much as I can in terms of steel plates, but I think we need to upgrade and get another assembler here, because I don't think there's any way possible to get that many steel plates quick enough. Yeah, I'm gonna probably time lapse the welding using this welding ship here, or the Multitool. A bit of an odd machine, but if you guys want it in the workshop, let me know. I'll throw it there. But it's not the best looking thing in the world. It's quite the ugly ship here. So, I mean, it works. I don't think I need the grinding. So I could have just honestly just got rid of this whole entire thing, stuck a few welder points right over here, and think we should be able to fly a lot better than what we have currently. So, yeah. I kind of knew that it's going to take a bit of materials, but that is a lot more materials than I thought. So, unfortunately, we're probably not going to get around to welding up half the ship anytime soon. So, hopefully, I'll see you guys next week. But if not, it's because the welding's going to take forever, and we'll see how that kind of goes. Hope you guys enjoyed this video of building the large grid version of the Multitool ship. It does not look as great as the small version that I have, and I'll leave that in the link down in the description below. But it's operational. I mean, we can clean it up. This is kind of the raw form of it. But yeah, if you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up, like the video, comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and of course, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.